where an event called the RedBull 64 Bars competition was hosted on the Rhodes campus for its inaugural time on the 1st of May. This event, being held here for the first time, aimed at celebrating and exposing the many lyrical talents that exist within the university through showcasing their ability in front of other competition. A composition of rounds throughout a 3-week period are held to be able to determine the ultimate talent. Performing at the event were student artists who were determined to show their ability in front of an audience. Although the turnout was more or less subpar, the artists and the performers came to compete and show off their ability. One of the performers, known by the stage name Calvin Fuji, gave us his thoughts on being able to participate.
First and foremost, I was privileged. It was an honor, honestly, being there. And I love that Red Bull is providing so many spaces for creatives to articulate themselves, providing like platforms for artists like people like me where they can sort of like let their talent sort of shine. So it was an honor, and I think because of that, it was also very daunting and very nerve-wracking because I understood that Red Bull being the establishment that it is, being the 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 established sort of like um, franchise it is, it's like I knew that there had to be a certain like standard when approaching it. So it was nerve-wracking. It was and it also sort of like motivated me to sort of like bring my A game into everything. As for where it can improve, I think that Red Bull, with the event, they did very well in sort of like facilitating the event. I feel like they're very the organizers of the event were very accommodating. Um, so yeah, I there isn't really anything that's coming to mind with regards to what can be done. I feel like all that needed to be done was done when it came to the event. It's very surreal seeing people react positively to things that you work on in the privacy of your own home. Because like as much as one may be confident in their work, you can never really know how it's going to be received outside of yourself. So it was very rewarding to be able to find myself in a space like that and then have everyone being so welcoming and also have the people be very supportive of what I was doing. Would give me the drive, the motivation to keep working on my craft. Obviously it's a very competitive space. These aren't like your everyday sort of like average rappers, that are going on to that like that competition. So just off of like the opposition, the competition alone, I feel like that would have been enough to just like increase, my writing capabilities, and also receiving that confirmation. Winning the event would be essentially me receiving confirmation that okay, there is something going on here, and that I should just like keep locking onto that and just keep working on that, you know, and it would just lead me to believe that honestly the sky's the limit. you know who knows what else could be in store, with regards to like what happens with the potential, and also where I may find myself in the future, whether that's like a year or two from now. So it really is a benefactor in so many ways, in that even if one wasn't to win, I feel like you stand to gain something from this. My first performance, I believe, was last year, I believe, at Triple S, the Slipknot Slipstream bar. And I believe I've grown so much since then. Um, my ability to interact with the crowd, being able to be more present. I feel like that's the most important thing: being present in the moment, and being present with the people around you, and sort of not shutting them off. It's not like you're performing at them. You sort of like it's sort of like you guys are together in this sort of like experience. And those are one of the few things that I was able to learn in my journey. Despite it, yes, being a year, but I feel like there was so much that I was able to pick up on, whether it was from experience or even like the people around me, the talented people. Like I have people I look up to when it comes to performing, like Matei. I have people like Tovia that I look at, when it comes to performing, because they've been in this longer than I have, and they have a firm grasp on performing and stage presence, and I look to those guys when it comes to that. And then you obviously have your Tyler the creators, you have the people outside of our immediate vicinity. So yeah, I'd say it's been a journey improving and working on like my skill as a performer.
Throughout the two rounds, there were a selection of different musical personalities that were competing for the title of 64 Bars winner. The organizer, Denzel Zawani, was present within the process of recruiting and engaging within the Red Bull brand in order to bring this idea to light at Rhodes University.
I'm Denzel, and I'm the organizer of the Red Bull 64 Bars event. So I'm personally all about bringing clarity and also visibility to artists and actually understanding the Eastern Cape sound and the way they express themselves in a creative fashion. And promoting that is what brings me joy and satisfaction, besides obviously promoting it for the company, but future artists or current artists can actually aspire to be something more than they are and be the next big name. So that is really what motivates me. And it means a lot to me that I'm doing it in a small town because, you know, dynamite comes in small packages. So obviously, what I think would need to change is number one, the artists need to show more hunger and more desire to actually say what they need to say what their thoughts are and the experiences through the mic so that we can listen. And obviously, on my part, I would say just better coordination, getting more people involved in it. Obviously, I'd like it to be something more underground, more grimy and all of that. But at the end of the day, like I said, clarity and visibility is what matters for these artists and for myself providing that platform.
The competition was successful in the eyes of the organizer and the participants that were involved, but also hoping for more instances where talent is showcased and shown and exposed throughout Makanda and Rhodes University itself. This is breaking news. I've been Ntando Kumalo, and stay tuned. Have a good night. Thank you.